Yeah.
There we go.
Cool. So get yourself into the right frame of mind, frame of body. So lying in Savasana and sink into the mat and breathe long and deep. Breathe down into the belly, and then the next time you take a breath in, breathe right down to your fingertips, right down to your toes, right up to the crown of your head. So you're just doing your best, lying still, immerse yourself in life force, prana. So it takes a bit of effort to concentrate on the breathing, to get the most out of the breathing. Just let it work for you. A lot of closing of eyes through the practice if you can, if it doesn't sort of adversely affect you. For me, I could do the whole practice with my eyes closed, and I'd get, for my own practice, I'd get more out of the practice by doing it with my eyes shut than I ever would if I'm sort of looking around the room, looking at pictures on the wall, looking at other people. It's just so good for you. So wherever you can, obviously, if you need to see what I'm doing, then have a quick look and then see whether you can drop into the exercise without opening the eyes and see how it feels. It becomes intuition rather than sort of going into what I call the intellectual side of the brain. So they say it's going into the right side of the brain, the creative side of the brain. Breath flows in, breath flows out, long and deep. Fabulous. Okay, so you're sinking into the mat. Just feel the points of the body pressing into the mat. Breathe in, breathe out. So ideally, every time you take a breath in, you feel a bit lighter. Every time you take a breath out, you feel a bit heavier. So you're breathing in, it's like creating like a balloon, feeling yourself feeling lighter, breathing out, sinking a bit deeper. Okay, let the arms reach up over the top of the head. If it's too hard to have the sort of biceps by the side of the ears, then take them a little bit further apart. Try not to arch the back as you reach the arms up. Keep both shoulders down. A long, leisurely stretch. Point your toes away to then point your toes in. Point toes away. Point toes in. Toes away. Toes flexed in. Keep the arms up over the top of the head. Push into your right heel. Roll your body slightly to the left side. So I'm not literally rolling onto my left hip and my left shoulder. I come back to the center. Everything's nice and slow tonight. And over to the right side. In your own time, rolling left side. Rolling right side. Get into those shoulders, get into those hips as you roll purposely onto them. Left side, right side. Breathe. Beautiful. Come back onto your back. Slowly bring both knees up. Put your hands underneath the knees. Playfully roll. So Anna, just a little bit of a roll from the tail up into the hips. Massage. If you are feeling really good in your back, in your hips, then you can roll a bit higher and a bit lower. So you roll right up onto the coccyx and then roll slightly up. And if you roll backwards and forwards, see whether you're rolling straight, not going off skew with. Breathe. Roll back. Oh, I love it, love it. A few more, nice and slow. If it doesn't feel good for the back, then just keep it at a very low level. Okay, come back. Put your hands on both knees. This is brilliant for the hips and definitely the lower back. You're going to pull the knees into the chest. You're going to push the knees out to the side. You're going to push the knees away from the body. Drawing the knees in, pushing the knees apart, pushing the knees away and together. Feel what effect it has, not just upon your rotation of your hips, but the rotation of your shoulders. As big, as deep as you can. Big roll and go the opposite way. Rolling, opening, closing. Again, this is just so good for that lower back. Okay. Come back to the center. Bring the feet down to the floor. Take your arms out in line with the shoulders. Let your knees start to drop. You got the feet together or feet hip distance apart. Feet hip distance apart makes it easier. Drop your legs over to the left side. Drop your head over to the right side. Play around with that thing about closing the eyes. Visualize what's happening in the body as it lengthens and opens. So again, if your lower back's a bit iffy, then perhaps a full twist is maybe a bit too far. So you're opening each vertebra, releasing the neck by looking away, massively opening what I call into the heart center, the emotional side of the body, and deeply cleansing things like our liver and our kidney, because as we twist, we sort of wring the liver, the kidneys out. Breathe in, breathe out. No forcing, just let the weight of the legs drop over. Love it. Okay, very, very slowly bring the knees back up to the center, nice and slow. Get centered, get grounded before you even contemplate going over to the other side. Take a breath in, and on the out breath, let the knees drop to the right side, head to the left side. Relax. Open. Slowly twist. So I'm bringing my chin round towards my left shoulder. The deeper I breathe, the more my twist will develop. Okay, glorious. Slowly, slowly bring the knees back up to the center. Okay, reach both arms up to the sky. Imagine coming down out of the ceiling is a rope, and you are going to climb the rope. So this is another way of doing, normally you have our hands behind the head. This is a way of just working with doing little sit-ups. So you're climbing an imaginary rope. So reach one arm up the rope, and then the other arm a bit higher, and then the other arm a bit higher. Just climbing up the spine, breathing, working with Mula Bandha or root block. And I'm getting this, as I'm reaching up, I'm slightly rolling into the opposite side of the body. The arm that's reaching higher rolls you over onto the other side of the ribs. One side to the other side. This is seriously good. Climbing, really concentrate on Mulla Bandha, solar plexus, sacral, reproductive organs, back end, 3 areas. Your sort of lower back problem out. Lower back problems normally a weakness, so if we can build these muscles up, it's like wearing a girdle. The girdle is the muscles that you develop deep within the body, not the superficial 6-pack. It goes way, way deeper. Okay, good. Rest. Bring the knees back up. Take both legs up. Put your hands underneath your bum. Right, we're going to do alternate one leg higher. So I know I suggest you don't do this one. So one leg high, one leg low. Each time the leg comes up, it comes a little bit higher over the body, and the other leg goes a little bit lower. Where's the breath? One leg high, one leg low. Now do this scissor action over the top, legs out wide, underneath, nice and slow. We've normally been doing it a lot quicker, so slow it right down, crossing, and then open the legs as wide as they can go, and then cross underneath from the opposite side. The more you take the legs away from the body, I can assure you, the more you're having to use those deep abdominal muscles. Slow, long, deep. Slow it down a bit, Nick. Slow it down, nice and wide. Cross top, cross bottom. Right, next time the left leg goes underneath, wrap the left leg around the right leg. So I'm wrapping like a vine my right foot's just wrapping around underneath the inside of my left shin. So it's quite, again, it's what you're doing is opening the hips. It's quite a hard one. I can do it quite easy because I've got really long legs. And then you're going to bring the legs back up, cross over from the other side and wrap the leg around like a vine. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So if you think when we do eagle pose, this is sort of a part of the lower part of the body that we'd be working with. Okay, unwrap those legs, bring the knees back in. A little playful roll. Find the safe way to come up to sitting. If it's too much for you, come onto your side. Otherwise, it's roll up and come into a beautiful cross-legged seated position. Sit yourself up as tall as straight as you can. So a lot of attention to detail of how your body is, whether it can sit up tall. So we got length of the spine, we got openness of the chest, we got softness of the shoulders, length in the back of the neck by keeping the chin in Jala Bandha, the chin lock. Got my hands on the knees. Pretty well do this every single week. Do a spiral. Suck the belly in, push the belly out as you rotate. Consciously, like a halo over the top of your head. Try not to sort of hunch over. So Jill, sit yourself up a bit more rather than dropping your head into your chest. Spiral upwards, not downwards. Spiral, and it's just so good for your core, working with your hips, working with the lower back. Slow it down a bit again. I'm pressing my knees down. See the way I'm just getting my hands and I'm pressing my knees, pushing my elbows out to the side, spiraling, going a little bit deeper, and then go in the opposite direction. Free flowing. Oh, it's just glorious on my hips, my spine, my chest opens, my neck releases. Oh, heaven, heaven, heaven. Okay, good. Come up to the center, change the way the legs are crossed. So the other leg comes in front, both knees at the same height, both sitting bones right down. Sit up and just you're going to sort of throw your left hand forwards, throw your left hand down to the floor, throw your right hand forwards, throw your right hand down to the floor, and then start to walk the hands forwards without lifting your bum. Keep the butt down and just lengthen without arching the back. Really quite challenging. Breathe in, breathe out, hold. Okay, walk the hands round over the left knee. So it's a cross-legged seated forward bend with a twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Breath in, breath out. Knees same height. One, two of you, knees have gone up into the air. Tiptoe the fingers back around to the center. Take a breath in and walk the fingertips around to the opposite side. Back straight, not collapsing, folding. Okay, walk the hands back round to the front, walk the hands in. Okay, you can either do this from cross-legged seated position, or if it's too much for your hips, you're going to come on to all fours. So I'm just going to bring my body forwards. I can still do it with my legs crossed, and I can come onto all fours. If you don't like doing it with your legs crossed, then you can go onto your side. Right, start with your neutral back and bend your spine in, bend your spine out. Again, so Anna, this is absolute heaven. This is, if nothing else, over the next week, just do lots of cat-cows, comprehensively think about bending through every vertebra of your spine. So head up, tail up, head down, tail down, slow. Consciously connect to the arching of the spine one way and the arching of the spine the other way. So 1 minute, the place between the shoulder blades is the highest point of the spine. The next minute, it's the low, almost the lowest. Up, down, breathe. And then either draw a circle, or to me, far better is the figure of 8. Just play with perhaps doing the circle first, and then decide whether you're going to take it into the figure of 8. Balance, loading the weight back, loading the weight forwards. Again, brilliant one. Because 1 minute you're doing a bit of a forward bend, the next minute you're doing a bit of a back bend. Gradually wind it up a bit more so that your bottom, your sitting bones are almost going back to your heels. And start to sort of load bear in the upper body as well as sitting back. Breathe. Right, purposely drop and hold traditional child's pose, but this time you've got a choice. I suggest you keep the arms in surrender position with the elbows down. The head comes right down to the mat. The chest drops straight between those thighs, and relax and breathe. Think of somebody just gently pressing down on your lower back. Just sort of getting your head around somebody pressing down on your back. It will release you a little bit deeper. The fact that there's nobody actually there doing it doesn't mean a thing. If you believe there's somebody just gently pressing down on your back, that's the feeling you'll get, and you'll go a bit deeper. Beautiful, beautiful. Come up onto the elbows on purpose. So drop down onto the elbows, elbows shoulder distance apart, and you're just going to wave the body. You want to get that chest right down. If this isn't strong enough for you, do it from straight arms. So you've got a choice. You can either do straight arms or bending at the elbow. Now want the chest right down onto those crossed hands. And then come up as high as you can and drop back as far as you can. So I'm not moving. If I'm on straight arms, then I'm not moving my hands. If I'm on my elbows, I'm not moving my elbows. I come forwards, load there, I go back, unload. Slow it down. Go back to the maximum distance that you can safely do. Come up as high, lower as low. Beautiful. Come definitely on to what I call straight arms now. Knees underneath the hips, toes curled under, toes no wider than your hips. Look down, see where your fingertips are, spread the fingers out wide. You want to go down through the arms and send the weight down through not just the wrists, but down through the palms of the hands, right to the fingertips of every single finger and both thumbs. Slowly push into the arms and start to lift the bottom up into a very slow downward facing dog. So tail high, chest low, head relaxed, neck relaxed. Give the head a little gentle nod. Up and down, left to right. Try not to lock the knees, but see whether you can get those heels down a bit further. Don't worry if you can't get those heels down, it just means you've got incredibly tight calves and hamstrings. Okay, right, you're going to walk the hands in towards the feet and hopefully end up in standing forward bend. Find balance, coordinate that balance. The weight going down through both legs, the tail going up, chest going down. So for you, Anna, rest your elbows on your thighs so you're not loading too heavily into the forward bend. Try not to lean back. So Anna suggests you just stay here. The rest of you, going to bring the hands down. You're going to walk back into your downward dog. Slow, powerful movements into the downward dog. Tail up, chest down. Breathe. Now the even more challenging is to walk the feet forward so your feet come between your hands if you can. One step forwards, second step forwards, step forwards, step forwards. I didn't want to find myself just with my fingertips equal to the big toes. Hang out over the legs. Again, don't lean forward, don't lean back, just perfectly pivoted. If you were against the wall, your heels would be against the wall, your calves would be against the wall, the hamstrings and your bottom would be against the wall. Slowly start to create an arch in the back and bring that body up to standing. Nice and slow. Take some breaths. Deeply focus. Get yourself prepared for a very slow round of salute to the sun, salute to the moon. Go into a state of feeling incredibly powerful. So get that mind sorted. So you're standing up really tall. Don't go rigid on me. So stand yourself up really tall. And so what we're going to do, we're going to thrust the pelvis through a bit. So lose that horrible lower back arch. I've got the core in. As soon as I got my core sucked in, my back straightens. I've got openness of the chest. I've got softness of the shoulders. My chin slightly in. And I can either just close my eyes or just look forward and just gently allow the body to rock slightly onto the toes, slightly back to the heels. And don't worry if you end up losing your balance. Just explore the balance with being grounded through the feet. Okay, beautiful. So every movement is yours. It's unique to you. It's incredibly good, incredibly powerful, and will give you what you need. This is probably the best part of the physical aspect of the yoga, doing the salute to the moon. The arms reach out in line with the shoulders, no higher. Reach those fingertips out. Don't worry if you've got a wall close by. So I haven't come higher than my shoulders, haven't come lower. Do this thing, playing with the fingers, moving the fingers, going into the knuckle joints of the fingers by clenching and opening, clenching and opening. Haven't lost the perfect balance of coordination, but still being in the mountain in the body. Okay, I'm going to gently circle the wrists forward. This is such a beautiful way of going into the salute to the moon. Gradually wind the shoulders up, nice and slow. So some of you, by doing it so slow, it's gonna, some of you might be a bit too hard for you. Gradually making that circle bigger and bigger. And then go the opposite way. Start big, going backwards, keeping the body in the perfect mountain. It's all about rotations of the shoulders, gradually making that circle smaller. So you get to the point where those arms are not moving in the circle, they're all the way out. Reach the arms up to the sky, bring the palms safely together. Draw the hands beautifully down to the heart. Push the palms together. Keep the body in the upright position. Turn the hands down. Run the fingertips down through the inner thighs. Fold in half. Breathe in. Breathe out. Standing on the left leg, pick the right leg up, step back into a lunge. Breathe in, breathe out. Breath in, breath out. Lower the back knee down. Release the back foot, bring up the body up. Thrust through. Some of you want to do it stronger. You can come off the knee and do it with a straight leg. I don't mind. So I'm lunging through. I'm really sort of working. I can feel it right through the inner thighs, through the sort of reproductive organs. My arms reach out in line with the shoulders. My arms continue up into a bit of a back bend. I soften the shoulders so they're not up around my ears. I look up and I've got two choices. I can either look up at my hands or close my eyes. Breathe. Going into hero. Pushing those elbows out. Going into freedom. Every movement is so good for you. Hands come to heart. Hands come forwards. Hands come down to the earth. Take the weight into the hands, pick the left leg up, come into neutral cat. In the neutral cat, 3 cat rolls in and out. Slow it down. Maximize each one. When you've done 3 of those, feel you deserve to go into child's pose, Havasana. Okay, come up onto straight arms. Go down into a very safe but very powerful knee press up. See whether you can drop the chest down, keeping the elbows in. The slide through. Do breathe. Do thrust the hips down. Do roll the shoulders back. Do keep the chin tucked in. Coming into cobra. So Anna, not for you. Don't do the up facing. Bypass that to bring you onto all fours. Onto all fours and into your downward dog. Slow, deliberate. Stretching, not overstretching. It's powerful, it's good for you. One of my best sort of positions I love doing is my downward dog, especially when my back's been aching. I'm going to either come down onto my knees or I'm just going to step my left foot through. So maybe have a go at just stepping the left leg through. Breathe in, breathe out, step the right leg through. You're in the standing forward bend. It feels extremely good. Bring that incredible body up, one vertebra at a time. Use the core muscles to protect the back. So tall and strong, centered and grounded. Get yourself into the right head space, the right body space. Feel awesome. Yeah, it's a good word. Feel awesome. Not arrogant to feel awesome. It feels good to really sort of take on your power and feel it flowing. The arms reach out. Every movement is yours. Reach those fingertips as far apart as they can go. Wiggle those fingers again. Do that clawing. Fists opening, fists closing. Bending at the wrists, bending the palms up. Gradually start to call this slowly learning to fly. So my arms come slightly above my shoulder line and slightly below, and gradually gets higher and lower. I haven't lost my mountain pose. I need a strong core to support my arms. I reach up, I reach down. Next time the arms come up, they come all the way over the head. There's a bit of a back bend going on. I can look up at the hands again. I breathe in, I breathe out, I bring the hands beautifully down to the heart. I turn the hands down. I fold safely into the forward bend. Got my fingertips down. I'm balanced on my right leg. I pick my left leg up, step my left leg back. I've gone for a big distance. I'm on the tightrope. Where's the breathing? Lower the back knee down. Release the back foot. Bring the upper body up. Thrust through. Balance, open, focus. Arms out. Arms up into the warrior arms. Doing great. Keep feeding that into your soul. Going into hero. Going into freedom. Coming to heart. Blocking, pushing forwards. Hands come down. Either side of the front foot. Take the weight into the hand. Pick the right leg up. Come into neutral cat. Every movement slow, deliberate. It's about your strength, your flexibility. Up the spine, down the spine. Wave after wave, slow. When you've done 3 of those, drop back into child's pose. Hold for 3 breaths in child's pose. Come up onto straight arms. Lower down into a press up. Slow, elbows in if you can. Slide through for the last bit. Thrust the hips down. Roll the shoulders back. Work the buttock, work the muscles in the lower back. So cobra, bypassing up facing dog if you're a bit worried about the back, to bring you into downward dog. Toes flick under, very slow launch into the down dog. The slower the better. Take as long to get into it as long as you can hold it. Fabulous. Look forward, step the right foot through between the hands if you can. The left leg through in the standing forward bend. Uncurl. Come back up. Incredibly slow. Okay, great stuff. So, you're nice and upright, everything's starting to feel good. Do a bit of a step out of yoga mode and just move into free flowing. Just, you can do some circles, you can do some stepping if you want. Just sort of play with things and just see what works for you. You can do some twisting, or just whatever seems like the right thing to do. Or, you know, I'm doing twisting and bringing my knees up. Nicola, I cannot wait to have a dance with you, the way you're moving. I've got a reputation, I tread on people's toes.
I was traumatized as a child when I trod on this beautiful girl's feet when I had a waltz. Believe it or not, this is true. Everything I'm telling you is true. I was traumatized at the age of 12 when I was madly in love with this girl at a wedding. Okay, good. So in your mountain, right, get yourself really sorted physically, emotionally. We're going to do a combination of a round of salute to the moon, incorporating 3 standing postures. So it's a little bit different to what we've perhaps been doing. Arms reach out. Every movement, I want you to feel what's happening. Arms reach up. Bend both knees. Sit back into a chair that doesn't exist. Try not to really sit the bottom back and find the chair. Come back up slow. Launch the arms out. Bring the hands down to the floor into standing forward bend. Your fingertips down. Stand on the left leg, pick the right leg up, step it back. This time, turn the back heel in. So you're on the tightrope, hips round to the front, bring the upper body up. So you're going to have my back for a moment, but that's okay. So I'm going to start to bend into that front leg. So I'm finding the warrior 1. My hips go down, my tail's really tucked down. I'm to really work those muscles of the inner thighs, the groin. Openness, softness, arms reach out, arms reach up. Bend into that front leg, look down, and just see the big toenail, and that is the perfect position. Now see whether you can do one of 3 things. Either carry on looking at the big toe, look forwards, look up, or ultimately close the eyes in the warrior 1. Beautiful, beautiful, you got it. Bring the hands down, put them on both hips. Straighten that front leg. Left hip forwards, right hip back. You can have my back for a moment. I'm coming all the way around. I'm looking down, I'm just checking that I'm still on my tightrope. My arms reach out in line with the shoulders. I push into the back heel, I bend into the front leg. I find the warrior 2. So really tuck under and thrust through. Sink down through both hips. Don't let that front knee roll in. Don't let the right hip roll in. Hold the warrior 2. Breathe in, breathe out, just holding it. Breath flows in, breath flows out. Okay, straighten the front leg, let the left hand run down the inside of the left knee. Pull the right hip back, look up at the right hand, or close the eyes. Triangle, breathe, hold. Slowly come back up. Bring the hands back to the heart. Bring the hips back round to the front. Bring the hands forwards. Bring the hands down either side of the front foot. Take the weight into the hands. Step the front leg back. Everybody can hold full plank. Decide knee press up or full press up. You come down chest first. You slide gracefully through. Finding cobra. Finding up facing. Finding downward facing. Rest in child's pose if you're a little bit knackered. Look forward, pick the left foot up, bring it between the hands if you can. Balance. Step forwards. Uncurl. Come up slow. Okay, back into your mountain. Get this right, you're just going to feel stronger and stronger and stronger. Better and better and better, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Get it wrong, you're just going to feel a mess. So don't get it wrong. You don't have to. Great words. Don't feel a mess. Okay. Get the head sorted, get the body sorted, get those emotions sorted. Arms reach out. Every movement you can feel, every muscle group that you're working, reach the hands up. Keep reaching, but soften the shoulders. Don't have the shoulders around the ears. Bit of a back bend going on. Start to bend both knees into that chair. Really get the bottom back. Keep your center of gravity, center of balance. In breath, slowly come back up. Sweep the arms out to the side. Fold into the standing forward bend. Move freely. Get the fingertips down. Take the weight into those fingertips, into the palms. Stand on the right leg, pick the left leg up. Balance. Step the left leg back, turn the back heel in. So you're looking through from the heel of the front foot to the arch of the back foot. Bring the upper body up slow. So bring the hips round to the front the best you can. Lean back a bit. Everything's about balance. Okay, arms reach out. Arms reach up. Slow, start to bend into that front knee. Don't let the left hip roll you to the side. Go down through that center line. Keep that wonderful openness of the heart, softness of the shoulders. Look up. Decide what you're going to do. Look forwards, look up, close the eyes. Try a bit of each if you want. Fabulous. I've just managed to hold the whole thing in with my eyes shut. I'm going to bring the hands down. I'm going to put my hands on both hips. I'm going to straighten both legs. Now I'm going to bring my hips around to the center. Purposely let the back foot come round a bit so I got a bit more sort of balance. My front foot doesn't change. So I tuck under, I thrust through. Well, really important, protect the back, keep that core really massively holding everything in. Reach those arms out, push into the back, it'll start to bend into that front knee. Don't let the front knee roll in, don't let the left hip roll out or in. Softness in the warrior two. Softness with power, yeah, great word, softness with power. Look down that front arm, get that chin round towards that right shoulder. Massive core. Straighten both legs. Swipe the front hand down the inside of the right thigh. Keep the back of the hand pressing down the inside of the thigh. Make certain your left hip doesn't roll forwards. And start to lean, but keeping your balance into the trichosana, the triangle. Your hand might go below the knee, it might not, it doesn't matter. Just keep your balance. Keep pulling that left hip back. Reach, reach, reach. Wonderful. Slowly bring the body back up. Bring the hands back to the heart. Bring the hips back around to the front. Reach forwards. Bring the hands down. Take the weight into the hands, step the front leg back, everybody in the plank. You'll press up. Slow. Slide through the back bend of the cobra. The higher level if you want to, the up facing. The downward facing or resting in child's pose. The right foot steps through. The left leg steps through. The body makes its way back up to standing. If you've got a drink, have a quick slurp, but only a little slurp. Have a walk around, step off the mat, do a little dance, a little jig, whatever you want. I'm going into a bit of a crazy shake. But I'm keeping my feet grounded and I'm just going into a shake. And if I start to talk, my voice goes all a bit bizarre. And I can bounce around. I love shaking. It's caused, it's like a vibration. So you're working through the muscle groups. Oh, that's good. Woo! I'm hot. Okay. So get yourself into your mountain pose and just take on how good that body's feeling. Having done this quite slow sort of round of salute to the sun, moon, incorporating those three very powerful standing postures. So it's all the time, your body getting stronger, fitter, healthier with every exercise. If you're getting tired, then you're just something going wrong. It's the whole thing about recharging you, not deflating you. Okay, so the arms reach out, the arms reach up. So bringing the hands down, the bending of both knees as far as you need to bring you into a standing forward bend. The lowering down, if you can, if your knees allow you to drop into a squat. So whatever squat you come into, if you find it really hard, bring your hands behind and support yourself that way. I'm going to, because I love squats, I'm going to clamp my knees against my elbows. So I'm really pulling my knees in and I'm pushing my elbows out. I can feel this right up into my reproductive organs. I'm really working really massively deeply into my core. You okay, Anna? Cool. Yes, don't give that a bypass. Beautiful. Now bring the hands behind you. Definitely don't do this, Anna. Walk the hands back and lift up into the reverse tabletop. It's a bit of a full-on back bend, so don't do this if your back's giving you any jerk. Keep pushing through, rotation of the shoulders. Slowly lower the bottom down so they end up sitting between your hands. I found that really hard, so I didn't do that in one, that's okay. I sit myself up. I'm in this beautiful Dandasana, sitting up. So if it's doable, just sit up nice and upright. Flex the toes in. We're going to hold sitting, just sitting up for a couple of minutes. If you find it hard sitting up, feel free to go and sit against the wall. So at the end, Anna, I'm going to get you to just take your legs up the wall when we go into relaxation. And any of the rest of you who might want to do it can also do it. But yeah, it really will be good for your back. Okay, so I'm just sitting up, flexing my toes in, seeing what's going on with my legs, my thighs engaging, my calves stretching as I flex the toes in. I point the toes away, stretch down through the front of the legs, flex the toes in, the backs of the legs. I can alternate, maybe. Stick to the essence of what we're trying to do, sit up. Don't start playing around with the legs if you find that it's sort of putting you off sitting up. Am I pivoted? Am I perfectly upright? Am I really getting those backs of my legs down? Beautiful, hold it. Another minute. So if you're going to engage your brain, just get the brain into sort of acknowledging what you're doing with acceptance, with sort of a sense of it feels good. Yeah. So if your brain's telling you it feels bloody awful, that's what it's going to be doing. If the brain's telling the body it's feeling really good for you, it will stretch you safely, effortlessly. So simple. It's just, you know, we complicate things. We want to sort of analyze things, but all we got to do, get the mind, the emotional body and the physical body working together and step away from all that intellectual stuff. It's pushing, battling, egos. It just serves no purpose. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then you just, the best thing to do is just massage your legs and gradually, and I mean very gradually, let the hands start to come down the legs into a seated forward bend. Try not to arch the back. So definitely, well done, Anna, you're definitely not doing this. Reaching down, slowly. Just trying to relax into it and just rather than sort of bouncing up and down, just sort of play with it, taking it to a point that you think, yeah, that's doable, that's good. Both my sitting bones are down, both my calves are down, both my heels are down. The weight in both legs is equal. My chin slightly tucked in. Going to hold for another minute. Back away from it if your back starts to yell. Gradually, because I'm just doing it nice and slow, things are moving, shifting, nice and slow. Hands telling me the opposite. So just don't come down too far. Stay within what's doable, even if you're right up high. Big thing, stretch your calves, stretch your hamstrings. Don't necessarily stretch the lower back if it's painful. Beautiful. Okay, come back up, take the legs out nice and wide. Because I've got long arms, I can reach my toes. If you haven't got long arms, you might not reach your toes, and just bring them onto legs. So the legs are as wide as I can make them, and I'm just going to drop the chest through a totally different stretch. So definitely not one for you, Anna. Breathe, 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 breathe. My tail goes back, my head comes up and forwards. Don't throw the head forwards, don't create an arch in the back. Right, I'm gonna, whoever I'm holding on the left leg or the left foot, I'm gonna bring the right arm up, I'm gonna bring the right hand over. As if I'm gonna bring the arm over. I'm staying on both my sitting bones, which is the most important thing. I open up through the side of the body. I breathe low, long, and deep. Beautiful. Really sink those sitting bones down. Don't lift the right hip. Come back up. Come back to neutral, balance, and safely over to the opposite side. So I'm looking up at my left arm. I'm letting the body go over bit by bit, bit by bit. Yeah, come out of it if it's all too uncomfortable. Treasure it if it's doable, if it's really good. Okay, beautiful. Come back up, you'd be pleased. Bring the hands down, bring, right, have the soles of the feet, rather than bringing them right in, have the soles of the feet. Knees slightly bent, soles of the feet together. Gently push the knees down and gently drop the upper body through. So really press the soles of the feet together. Drop the chest through. Hip rotating outwards. It's quite full on, so definitely gentle on this. I'm really aiming to still keep my feet together, and I find that quite hard. Now I'm going to come up, now I'm going to walk the feet in as close to the groin as I can. Okay, so I'm just going to playfully walk on the sitting bones, trying to get my arse a little bit closer, I'm trying to get my heel right into my reproductive organs. I'm not leaning forwards, I'm not leaning back, I'm really open. My shoulders are down, my chin's in. Love it, love it, love it. Don't bounce, just explore. See whether those knees want to go down a bit further. Okay. Right, come round. We're going to do a different back bend to what we've been doing for the last few weeks. If it's too much for you, just I'll take you through it and I'll stick on a level that's right for you, or you're going to stick on a level. You come on to neutral cat. You drop down into child's pose. Relax, let every muscle release any tension from doing those forward bends. Okay, come back up. Right, you're going to lower down onto your front. So a safe press up, bringing you down onto your front, and just staying down on your front. Once you're down, you're going to bury your pelvis into the floor. Your groin presses down into the floor. The front of the legs presses down into the floor. You're not sort of bouncing up and down. It's just gradually bringing the chest up into cobra. Bring the forehead down to the floor. Right. Kick the left heel into the left buttock. Release. Kick the right heel into the right buttock. Hips level. Release. Anna, you're definitely not doing this one. So stay in child's pose for you. And then kick both heels in towards both buttocks. And then see whether you can reach round and grab your ankles. That might be enough. Definitely keep your forehead down on the mat if you've got any lower back problems. Start to pull the legs back, and only if it feels safe, do a back bend by bringing the chest up and maybe even bringing the knees off the floor. You're going to hold for, I'm just going to have a quick look at you guys. So if you can hold for about 30 seconds, fine. No pinching of the lower back, no sort of horrible pains. We haven't done this one for quite a while now. No tugging, just find the maximum, that the bow shape of the spine. Okay, you'd be pleased to know, release those legs down. Definitely come into child's pose once more. So dropping into child's pose, breathe. Just feel, relax into it. Right, get yourself into Savasana pose of tranquility. So for Anna and for one or two of you, if you've got a bit of wall, you're going to get as close to the wall as you can, and you're just going to put your legs up the side of the wall and lie on your back. Unfortunately, I'm in the middle of the floor, so I can't really show you. You're doing it right. Come in from the side, Anna, rather than coming in directly from the front. If you do it from the side, see whether you can walk your, that's it, come right into your bottoms, right against the wall. So one or two of you, if your back's been giving you a bit of jib, then that's it. Now get your legs up the wall and just relax. Both hips down, both legs reasonably straight, arms out to the side or down by the side of the body, whatever works for you. So maybe stay in this for the duration of the relaxation if it feels right for you. You can sort of work with variations of it. You can sort of bend the knees and let the legs drop apart maybe. But just what we're trying to do is just establish, it's the same as the seated forward bend, but we're just doing it in reverse, the legs up the wall. We want to gradually stretch those calves out, stretch those hamstrings out, and the fact that both hips are down, that protects the lower back safely from sort of putting any pressure upon the back. Chin in, no weight in the back of the head. So Nick, bring the arms down by the side of the body a bit more, about 6 inches away from the side of the body, palms up, let the shoulders rotate out, keep the chin slightly in. Visualize yourself sinking into the mat a little bit deeper than where you were when we started the class. If you got this right, your body will want to just open up into surrender position. No, be quiet, Bob. No. So I've got a dog that wants to be playful. Okay, so you're just relaxing, breathing. Everything about your breathing is transformational in the sense it's healing, it's restoring, it's rejuvenating. So Anna, you're breathing into your lower back. That's your Achilles heel at the moment.
So you can visualize your breath going to any part of your body where we've all got aches and pains. We've all got bits of our body where there could be a discomfort. So breathe into that part of the body. Relax into it. Remember, prana is your life force, your healing. Not forcing the breath. It's quite subtle, but quite powerful. You are going to focus your mind upon just what's happening with your breathing. Relax. Enjoy stillness. Physical stillness. Emotional stillness. Mental stillness. Fleeting second. Or maybe more. Let it find itself. Let it evolve. Stay connected to it. Try not to zone out by going into sleep or the subconscious. So it sounds sort of really bizarre, but incredible connection physically, emotionally, and mentally. No distractions. Tune out from any sounds outside your space. Beautiful. So what do we want? What do we need more than anything else in this moment? It's a state of bliss. It's yours if you allow it. If anything starts to tighten up, then feel free to have a little movement. If anything sort of emotionally starts to stir, accept it. If anything comes up into your thoughts, acknowledge it and let it go. So simple. Wonderful. So as we always do, take a picture of it in your mind, capture this moment, take it into the rest of your evening. Stay in this mindfulness state if you need to, you don't have to get up. If you feel your body needs to start to come out of the stillness, the mindfulness state, then feel free to do that. Safely come up, probably wiggle your fingers, your toes, definitely bring the knees in. So for you, Anna, it would have been safer if you would have rolled over into the fetal position, but it's not essential. And use the hands to bring you up to sitting. It's so easy to come back up to sitting. without any sort of force. Okay, bring the hands to the heart. Give yourself a bit of praise, give yourself a bit of encouragement, give yourself a bit of love, lots of love. Connect to the group, connect to the space you're in, connect to the world outside, the universe. There's a lot of good things going on to change the world for the better. A lot more's got to be done, but we're making little steps. Namaste. Cheers, guys. Feel free to tune out.